that something that drives me a little crazy is this his frequently repeated line about how quality of opportunity is fine. That's good even, but quality of outcome, that's bad. That's that'll lead to the gulag. Trying
Right.
to enforce that, and whereas I do agree. First of all, if you're talking about Marxism. Karl Marx certainly didn't believe in perfect equality of outcome. Read the Critique of the Gotha Program. He said he said that you would need um, at least in a lower phase of social society, you would need a certain amount of inequality in distribution for incentives and other things.
Hmm.
He thought in a later phase, he thought, the superabundance would do away with need to worry about it, which is actually some, whatever. So that's a larger discussion. But
Mhm.
the point for our purposes now is just that this is, if we're talking about perfect equality of outcome, that's something that is, I believe, historically rarer than he's portrayed it as being. If we're talking about like at least rough equality of outcome, thinking that like the amount of inequality that we have now, the amount of inequality of outcome that we have now is way too much, then I would really push back against the idea that there is a clean way to separate equality of outcome and equality of opportunity, that these are just completely different things.
Hmm.
Because there is a real question here about what we mean by equality of opportunity, what kind of equality of opportunity that we should most care about.
Mm-hmm.
So do we just mean like legal equality of opportunity, like nobody is denied the potential, like legal permission to advance if they can.
Right. Like the Civil Rights Act would be an example of that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So that's one conception of equality of opportunity, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we can all agree that that's a good thing that should exist.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's the sort of limit, like the outer limit of the sort of equality of opportunity that you might aspire to, is a slightly different question, because you can also say, well, wait a second, but given legal equality of opportunity, you could still have vast differences in the amount of opportunity that people have in practice, most
Mm-hmm.
obviously because of what sort of circumstances they're born into, in which case I
Mm-hmm.
would say the previous generation's outcomes become the next generation's opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this gets much more complicated to see how we can address it, but I think it should be part of the discussion. There's also vast differences in realistic opportunities, just given any number of contingent facts about people over which we have no control. That if you happen to live in a society that's ruled by a warrior caste, where whether you're really big and strong is going to determine, what
Mm-hmm.
opportunities that you have. There are people who, through no fault of their own, are not going to have very much chance to do that. If you
Mm-hmm.
live in a society where where you have like professional managerial class ladders of career advancement, you can go up. Then maybe that won't help you very much. But a certain package of cognitive abilities that are equally not under our control,
Mm-hmm.
determine whether you can climb up those. All of which is just to say that this idea that we all know exactly what equality of opportunity is, and that's fine, and that achieving that is all the social justice anybody could reasonably want, is something I would push back against on several fronts.
It's